Today, we're back in the final frontier. Aleutian Airways is a regional airline based in Anchorage that respectfully focuses on serving Alaska's Aleutian Islands. They operate a fleet of 4 Saab 2000 turboprops that they are able to send all the way out to Dutch Harbor, one of the outermost islands. That flight is the longest in their route network and lasts over 2 hours. So, how would that be accommodated on board? What do they offer to compete with Alaska Airlines and Raven that have flown the same routes alongside? What's going on, guys? Casey Flower here. The plan today is to take them down to Homer and back and see how much they're even able to do for us for a quick 30-minute hop. So I'll meet you guys upstairs to go check in. Morning, how you doing? Raleigh Fisher checking in for Homer. Not checking anything, but am I okay to bring these 2 things on as a carry-on? Yes.
There you go.
Awesome. And the backpack's good to go as a carry-on? Cool, okay. After check-in, I treated myself to a quick Krispy Kreme sweet treat to serve as my breakfast to get me going, as I had just about a half hour to kill until boarding. Just after getting to the gate, I saw the 32-year-old Saab pull in. November 683 Sierra Alpha was delivered brand new to Cross Air in October of 1994 as Hotel Bravo India Zulu Bravo, then to Swiss in March of 2002, then to OLT in Germany in August of 2003 as Delta Alpha Oscar Lima Bravo, then to Brathens Regional Airways in Sweden in June of 2013 as Sierra Echo Mike Foxtrot Kilo, followed by Skywork Airlines back in Switzerland in June of 2016 with that same Hotel Bravo India Zulu Bravo registration again, and then finally to Sterling Airways with Aleutian where it is now as November 505 Julia Alpha in April of 2023, and then got that November 683 Sierra Alpha registration that following October of 2023. Alright, we are at the gate, probably about 15 minutes out from boarding, and the aircraft just pulled up to get us down there. The bag situation went okay, better than expected. They let me bring on my 2 bags, my backpack and my camera bag down there as both carry-ons. They both weighed about 18 pounds each, and they let me carry it on. They have a little bag scale to show you like a visual of how big they have to be before I bring them on in their allowance. But yeah, I showed them that I had both my backpack and my camera bag, and they tagged those and approved them just fine. But yeah, the plane's out there, and we'll be on it before we know it. Morning, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing good, thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome aboard Aleutian Airways Flight 1401 with service to Homer. In command of the aircraft today is Captain Paul and First Officer Eric. My name's Robin. I'll be your flight attendant. To start us off, FAA regulations require that all items brought on board can be stored beneath.
My seat for the hop down will be 9F, with a pitch of 32, a width of 17, and a surprisingly great recline. We are boarded on the Saab 2000 down to Homer in seat 9F. Originally, I was seated in 2F, and I booked 2F, but they moved me back to 9 just due to, I would think, just weight and balance restrictions. But yeah, we're here now, so we have a slightly obscured view with the wing and the big engine there. But yeah, we kind of get what we get there. It's a small plane, so they got to move us around, and according to that. But yeah, there we go. It's a very quick flight we have that they're not going to have the time to do a snack or drink or any kind of service. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get a feel for what that's like and see what they got there. So already not off to a great start, but that's also kind of on me for picking such a short flight to do. But yeah, we're already moving and starting our taxi over to the runway. Alright, we are airborne out of Anchorage and on our way down to Homer. Right now I leveled off, actually kind of cloud surfing out there. I went into my Wi-Fi settings to see if there's anything available. I didn't think there would be, I didn't expect there to be. I went in and there wasn't, but again, I didn't really expect there to be. Turboprop and commuter and sort of regional airline. So there was nothing available. So for the longer flights that last close to like 2 hours to the outer Aleutian Islands, you're not going to have a way to sort of keep yourself busy or internet. So definitely bring downloaded content for that. But yeah, just look outside. It's going to be the primary form of entertainment. There's also a seatback magazine that you can go through there. But really, that's literally all you got. And they're also going to do a snack and drink run on that longer flight, but just not this one, just because of the short flight duration. But again, only a half hour. We can bear not having a drink or snack for the next 30 minutes. But yeah, just keep looking outside and we'll be in Homer before we know it.
We start our descent here. Should be a light ride, a little bit better than the anchoring bowl area for the turbulence. To keep your seatbelts fastened for the duration of the flight. Again, welcome aboard and thanks for your service.
Alright, and just like that, down we go. Thanks.
You're welcome. See you next time.
I'll actually be right back up on turnaround with you guys.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm an aviation guy, so I just came up here for the Saab.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, it's pretty good so far.
Yeah, it is really good.
Yeah.
So Brad, you can introduce yourself to Brad. He knows what he's doing.
Good stuff.
All right.
Okay, cool.
See you in a bit.
See you in a bit. Alright, welcome to Homer, where it's just below freezing, so we should probably change into some warmer clothes and not my shorts and t-shirt, but we're just getting back on the plane, so I'm not going to do that. There will be boarding us here in the next about 5 minutes, so very, very quick turnaround to head back up. I already got my boarding pass from check-in in Anchorage. Told them I was doing the turn, so they just issued it and gave it to me, so we are all good to go there. There's also no TSA here. It was the same thing up in Anchorage and all the Aleutian Airways destinations that they do. It's the same thing with Raven, Alaska, when I covered them when I came up to Alaska a couple years ago. No TSA or any of their destinations. Aleutian actually used the same boarding area and terminal as Raven up there, so that helps. So none of the airlines in that area have any TSA, so just check in and just go down to the gate area. The terminal itself here is pretty standard, just the check-in area and seating, waiting, and boarding area, so pretty small. You don't need that much. The only destination this airport actually sees is Anchorage, so just Homer, Anchorage, Anchorage, Homer, on a variety of different airlines actually. So obviously Aleutian Airways serves it from Anchorage, and then there's Raven, Alaska, and Grant's Aviation from Anchorage. So Grant is just like another commuter GA regional airline. But yeah, there you go. We will board back on here very momentarily, and I'll see you then. How you doing? Missed me?
Of course.
Heck yeah.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome aboard Aleutian Airways Flight 1402 with service back to Anchorage. In command of the aircraft today is Captain Paul and First Officer Eric. My name's Robin. I'll be your flight attendant today.
Are boarded on the Saab 2000 back up to Anchorage. I asked the flight attendant if she could ask the captain if I could sit closer to the front to get a better engine view with the prop. But we're just too forward heavy, so I'm gonna stay seated where I am in the center by where the wing is. But yeah, it is what it is. Small turboprop. There's gonna be weight and balance restrictions. So yeah, again, she said there's not gonna be any sort of snack or drink service on the way back up to Anchorage, but she said she'll let us know as things progress. So I don't know, somewhat hopeful on that one, but I doubt it. My hopes aren't up. So there we go. On the way back up, I'm going to rate and review Aleutian Airways using my channel original rating system called the Raleigh rating scale. Named that because my first name is Raleigh. If you're new here, I use this rating scale to rate all of my flights at the end of every one of my airline reviews with 6 different categories. So on the half-hour flight back up, we'll go ahead and see how Aleutian Airways did today. The service was a 10 out of 10. Our flight attendant, Robin, was very friendly, caring, and flexible to take my request to move seats for a better wing and prop view. There was no drink or snack cart on this specific flight just due to the short duration, but she did give out Rice Krispie treats to each individual passenger as we were deplaning. On the longer flights though, they do run a full snack and drink cart to everyone to give them something for the longer flight. The cleanliness was a 5 out of 10. This was an old aircraft, and she showed her age. There were worn and torn areas all around the whole cabin that were relatively easy to pick up, but it wasn't obvious. They were also doing their best to maintain it. The windows were also a little on the dirty side, which made filming outside not the easiest. The Wi-Fi was a 0 out of 10, as there wasn't any provided. The food was an 8 out of 10. Despite not really knowing what snacks and drinks they would give out on the longer flights, I asked at the end what they would normally do for it, and she said that they would do a full cart with chips and drinks, so there would be some sort of selection there to keep us accommodated for the longer flight time. It was good that she gave out Rice Krispies for the road at the end of this one, which was better than nothing. It mostly makes up for not doing any sort of service in the air. I only say mostly, just because I don't like Rice Krispie treats, but maybe you do. If you know anything else about the specific selection of chips and drinks they offer on the longer flights like Dutch Harbor, feel free to leave a comment. I'm genuinely curious. The entertainment was a 1 out of 10. All we get that the airline provides is the seatback pocket magazine and looking outside. There isn't a Wi-Fi network or entertainment browser, so you're best off bringing your own device with downloaded content to watch on the longer flights. This goes without saying, but there's no in-seat power anywhere, so don't forget to charge up or bring a portable charger. The seat was a 9 out of 10. It was great for a regional aircraft economy seat. You could argue that it's better than the standard. Its legroom was on the higher end of the spectrum of 32 inches of pitch, which just means a spot on my seat to the same spot on the seat in front of me. I was also so surprised by the recline when I tried it out. I couldn't find a specific number on it, but it went so far back to where I could almost see out the window behind me. The only downside was just the armrest being too low, which was basically just at lap level. It was a relatively minor discomfort, but just made filming a little more inconvenient for me. So the overall rating for this flight is going to be a 5.5 out of 10. Thank you.
Thanks for flying with us.
Of course. Is that normally what you do for the snack service on like the longer flights?
On the longer flights, I do a full service with the cart and serve drinks and
Okay.
chips and all that. On Homer, if I have Rice Krispie treats, I serve them at the very end as people are getting
I
on.
gotcha, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Are you going to apply to be a flight attendant?
I have my private pilot. I'm gonna fly for the airlines.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
yeah. I'm in aviation management, so yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, well, thanks for flying with us
Yeah, of
today.
course. Yeah.
She's waiting for you right down there.
But it's good to hear that you have a good selection on the longer flights.
Yes, for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay.
For sure. Okay.
But yeah, I'll see ya.
Yeah.
Bye. Alright friends, welcome back to Anchorage. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that home return as much as I did on the 2 flights. My final thoughts on the airline, I think it was okay for what it was. It was nice to hear that they do a full snack and drink cart run on the longer flights, like out to the outer Aleutian Islands that last like over 2 hours. So they have a full snack and drink cart to accommodate that for everyone. And even on this one, on Homer, they gave out the Rice Krispie treat at the very end as everyone got off, which is better than nothing. On the downside, I didn't love that they put me in the center of the aircraft when I booked myself in 2F in front of the engine so I can have that nice engine view. But due to weight and balance, they just moved me back to 9F in the center. So my view is just obstructed by the wing and engine. So not great, not ideal, but what are you gonna do? It's for a good reason. Weight and balance requirements. So yeah, that's all I got for you. I will be back here with another Alaska small regional commuter airline, which was may or may not mentioned earlier in the review. So I'll see you guys back here for that. Bye for now.